I got to be honest, last month's dividends didn't blow me away, but the bigger picture for the year tells a different story. So is dividend investing still worth it? Let's find out. In my previous video, we looked at August dividends, which was a smash out month. My biggest passive income ever in 1 month. £2,059.08 over the two accounts. That's my ISA and my SIPP. That was the most I've ever had in any 1 month by a long shot. It was a fantastic month for dividends. But was September any good? And am I on track for beating the whole year for 2024? We'll have a look at my ISA with Interactive Investor and my SIPP with Hargreaves Lansdown. Now, ISA first. I hold an stocks and shares ISA with Interactive Investor because it's all tax-free. All the gains are tax-free. All the capital growth is tax-free. You could grow your ISA up to £1 million and not pay an ounce of tax on it, which is fantastic. Obviously, you can't pay in that much. There's restrictions to how much you can pay in each year, and I'll put on the screen now as to what they are, what you can actually pay in for each financial year. But the growth, if you pick the right stock, then you can get amazing growth and just grow that up to £1 million or more and not pay any tax when you withdraw any or on any dividends that you get in. So we'll have a look first at the ISA. And we'll see what that brought in, what stocks paid me. The first stock that paid me in the ISA, and that was Avon Technologies. Now, Avon Technologies have changed their name several times. They used to be called Avon Rubber. They specialise in gas masks and respiratory gear for the armed forces, for fire service, all around the world. Really well-known company, well-respected. They also have an arm called Team Wendy, which specialises in headgear, as in helmets for the armed forces and that sort of thing. They do very well. They pay me good dividends. They've had they've had a good year actually, but over the lifetime that I've held the stock, it's been up and down, but the capital growth is starting to come back. The payments that they pay me in dividends is pretty good. Not last month though. Payment that came into the ISA last month was only £36.84 for Avon Technologies. I was going to say Avon Rubber then. The second stock that paid me into the ISA was a company called Ashtead. Now, Ashtead specialise in hiring out heavy plant machinery, that sort of thing. Diggers, tractors, you name it, anything to do with excavation, that type of thing. They rent that out. Sunbelt, they're also known as in the States. Multinational, big company. Done really well with them in capital growth and in dividends. And they paid me £53.41 in September. Now, that was the only two. That was the only two stocks that paid me in the ISA in September. Combined, the two of those together came to £90.25. So if we have a look now at this chart, this is my ISA monthly dividend tracker that I've made to compare it to 2024. And you can see that it was down. It was £30 down on September 2024. But if you look at the total for the year, we've already surpassed what we had paid to us for the whole of 2024. And we've got 3 months left to go. And there's no doubt about it that I'll be getting some more dividends in those 3 months. So we're now running at £2,234.06 compared to £2,034.42 for last year, which is an average of 248.23 averaged over those 9 months. Next, we'll move on to the SIPP. Now, the SIPP I hold with Hargreaves Lansdown, and again, for tax reasons, different tax reasons on the SIPP, because you will get charged tax when you remove, when you start what's called drawdown, when you start taking the money out. Whenever I pay money into that, as I'm a 40% taxpayer, I will get tax relief and I pay that in. 20% when the money goes in, the government will top up, and then also I can claim back another 20 through my tax return because I'm a 40% taxpayer. You've got instant gains as soon as you pay that money in. Dividends grow tax-free, but you do get taxed at your standard tax rate when you draw down. So let's look at the dividends that we had. Again, same sort of companies, because I do hold duplicates, not all of them, but some of the same duplicates in the SIPP as I do in the ISA. First company, Avon Technologies. Again, I don't own quite as much of it in the SIPP. £7.95, so not an amazing one, but there you go. £7.95 for Avon Technologies. The next one, same as in the ISA, Ashtead, that plant hire company, 145.82, much better. That was a lot nicer than what I had in the ISA. And on the flip side of Avon Technologies and Ashtead, I own more Ashtead in the SIPP and more Avon Technologies in the ISA. The third one, which is always a good payer, was Shell. I've owned these for quite some time, and I tend to top these up. The stock price does fluctuate, so when they're down, I top that one up, and they pay really good consistent dividends. Shell in the SIPP in September paid me £215.36, which was a nice little amount. So that amounted to a total in the SIPP of £369.13. If we have a look at this SIPP little chart tracker that I've got for dividends 2024-25, you can see that, like the ISA, the SIPP payments in September were down. 369.13 this year and 479.14 last year, but the increase in August kind of outweighs that, so we're still easily on track. We will beat it, that's without doubt. Already tracking at £4,903.57 for the year for 2025. 3 months still left to go, and we did 4,913 last year for the whole year. We'll smash that this year quite easily. £544.84 average per month for these 9 months that I've just passed, as opposed to £409 average per month last year for the 12 months. The next one we'll have a look at is the combined total dividends that we brought in for September for the SIPP and the ISA together, which amounted here, you can see, to 459.38 as opposed to 618.37 for last year. So well done on last year, but look at that August. August was double, and August in 2024 was a really good month, but double the amount of payments in August this year. And that's already pushed us well over the full payments that came in for 2024. So we're now running at £7,137 in passive dividend income for the year so far, for 9 months. 3 months left to go, and I know there's some good ones coming through. It always tails off a little bit. You know, I tend to find January, February, like you see, and August being the best months. It fluctuates, but I know there's some good payments still to come in compared to 6,900 last year. So we're already a couple of £100 over. £793 average monthly income. That's totally passive income. I didn't have to do anything for it. Yeah, I've got to buy more stock and I'll pay in each month, but I've already kind of done the research on these. I just keep buying the same stocks, and when I get paid these dividends, so when I look at, say, the Shell dividend, they paid me £215, sorry, 36 pence. All of that just gets reinvested straight back into Shell. Buys me more stock, giving me more shares, so that next time they pay me a dividend, it's higher and higher. So not only are Shell increasing their dividend each year, the amount I'm getting is more because of that, but I'm also getting more again because I've got more of that Shell stock every single year. So it's like a double whammy of dividend growth snowballing. Over the month, we had dividend reinvestments of, and sometimes it drops into the next month. So even though Shell may have paid me dividends in September, if it was towards the end of the month, the reinvestment may not have happened until October. So sometimes it's not always in the same month that it reinvests. But in the ISA, we had Avon dividend reinvestment of £19.53. We also had Ashtead dividend reinvestment in the SIPP of £107.32, and Gore Street, which was a dividend that paid me back in August. That was reinvested in September at £94.79. And I made one purchase, I say new purchase, a stock I already own, but some new money that had accrued in both those accounts, and I bought more Games Workshop stock. Games Workshop is one of my favourite stocks. They pay amazing dividends, they're growing, their future looks really good. So in the ISA, bought £1,496 worth of stock, and the SIPP I bought £2,087. They've got an ex-dividend date this month in October as I'm recording this. I'll benefit from those dividends that are coming through at the end of the month. That's the only stock that I purchased apart from those dividend reinvestments. It's crazy to me that a portfolio can generate that, £7,000 worth in 9 months of passive income without me really having to do anything. It's just coming in, and it's growing every year. It's 6,900 last year, 7,137 this year, and I'm fairly confident that I should crack the £8,000 mark for 2025, which will just be superb. £8,000 in passive income, which will just get reinvested straight back into it. It's like being given £8,000 worth of stock that's going to pay you even more dividends, because it will just go straight back in, all tax free. So, £8,000 this year. I'm hoping that 2026 should be near £10,000. So that will just be amazing. £10,000 of income coming in. And it will get to the point where when I reach retirement, I probably won't reinvest back into those stocks. That'll be income. Now, some of that will be taxed because it's taxed in the SIPP once I withdraw it. But all those dividends that come into that ISA, they're all tax free. So I can just drop them into my bank account rather than reinvesting them. And it's like having an income coming in and not being taxed on. So that's amazing. That's the plan anyway. And it's really easy. If I can do it, anyone can. What I'd like to know is those of you that do follow this same dividend reinvestment and dividend growth plan, let me know in the comments down below how you're doing. Let me know what stocks you're invested in, which ones have been good to you, which ones haven't, which is your best payer, which ones do you wish you'd bought more of. If you want to have a look to see back at that August video to see which stocks paid me that £2,000 in 1 month, best month I've ever had, then check this video out next.